Hello everyone, I hope you're doing fine. My name is Skyline. Joining me today is Matrym. Welcome to the Scrub Cup where, well, it's like it sounds. Scrubs play against each other for glory. Well, they're not scrubs. That's a bit of an overly negative word. They're just normal players. They're not pros. We'll put it that way. Anyway, how's it going, Matrym?
It's not a derogatory term if you embrace it. Make it your own.
Ah, yes.
I'm doing really good today. We've had a lot of Overwatch that's been happening today, and I'm really excited to get into this. We're going to be watching off-meta Athena versus Team 34.
Off Meta Athena, a clever name. Clever. No. At first I was like, Meta Athena is playing? No, this is Off Meta Athena, the legendary. Uh, so I'm excited to play to see this game. We already have the players in game, so we're going to be getting into it in just a second. But when you watch teams that aren't pro play, you see a couple differences. Mostly the game is a little bit slower, a little bit some cooler stuff can happen. I'm expecting some exciting stuff. We're starting on Lijang Tower, by the way.
Ooh, starting off with King of the Hill. Yeah, that's one of the fun things about this is these style of events tend to be very innovative. People don't specifically stick to the meta so hard. Haha, off meta Athena. But you also do seem to see teams that have been playing together a lot of synergies that are going to be coming in together. But big specific things to watch out for are specific focusing down of targets. That's going to be a key factor specifically in regards to supports. Since we are starting on King of the Hill, supports and support focuses become very, very important inside of this. And I'm just really curious to see what's going on. And wow, they are absolutely just putting the pedal to the metal, and we are already heading into Lijang Tower.
That's what I like. Just get into the game. Don't worry about all this talking in the middle.
No overtalk, just directly into the violence.
But anyway, here we are, Lijang Tower. Rule 34 in the blue versus off meta Athena in the red. So, well, we'll see what they come out in a bit.
Team 34 consists of Helmeter, Stylus, Mordkaroth, Throst, Swisha-Sweet, and Genos. Whereas on the other side of the map, we have off-meta Athena that consists of Moose, CD, Kufus, Shmoop, Anake, and Dragonex.
Well, this lobby is taking a little while to start, but it's Lijang Tower. So we're going to be seeing, really, in Lijang Tower, you're going to be seeing the Winston, the Genji, those types of heroes, and whichever team has the stronger of those players on those heroes generally has a pretty significant advantage. Anyway, here we are into the game. 40 seconds to choose. Let's see what heroes we see start to populate. Okay, Moose is not going to be playing Torbjorn, right? But we do see a Reinhardt, Soldier, Diva, very popular. We're back in the lobby. Never mind. Just kidding. Got you guys. Man.
I had to come out and make some changes into the settings. Looks like one of the admins needed to fix something inside there. And here we go. Now we're back into Lijang Tower. I feel like I've been here before. I'm getting deja vu, Skyline.
Oh, whoa. Hey, here we are in Lijang Tower for the first time. Actually, a completely different section of the map, so that's not even a false statement. 30 seconds remaining. Let's get into this match now. Stylus has gone over the Mercy a couple times now. He might be sticking on that. Mercy, not a Mercy with a Pharaoh would be strong here. Mercy with a Pharaoh is not weak
on this map.
Yeah,
I think it's really, really strong. A lot of open air, a lot of maneuverability that you can kind of get around inside of. Looks like Throst is actually looking at running out the Reinhardt through the doors, which is very strong on this map as well. But CD is still looking at running this Hanzo out. Last 2 seconds, we might actually be seeing Hanzo hit the floor coming out of this map.
we'll have to see. There's obviously no use for Sonic Arrow. Like sometimes in other maps, like Gibraltar, for example, you pick the early Hanzo just to Sonic Arrow out on attack. But of course, that's not applicable for King of the Hill maps. So if CD sticks on this, then that is a straight-up Hanzo. Would be a very interesting composition to run it on. Normally, you see the Soldier. The Soldier has a bit more mobility, can run around a little bit. Oh, clearly, let's see, it's a Reaper, maybe? Is it a Reaper? It's a Pharaoh. Okay, with the Mercy. There we go. We're saying. Yeah, I was expecting the Pharaoh.
Off-meta Athena isn't really running anything that can target down this pharmacy that's coming out on the other side. You're going to have their work really cut out for them. It's going to kind of fall on the Tracer's lap to take care of this, or the other farm, or the other Pharaoh.
Very fast control of this point right now from off-meta Athena into red. So it'll be difficult for this Pharah, this attacking Pharah in the blue team to actually get in here. Because there's all these walls in the way. Point ticking down. They can't get this for free. That would be so big. Oh my gosh! They take the point. That's so huge. Even if Rule 34 wins this next fight, which it doesn't look like they are, because they already lost Hellmatter, their soldier player. Even if they do win this fight, they're giving up so much free percentage right now to off-mana Athena.
And you can see on the outside, Genesis trying to get some damage in, trying to find some type of target, but just can't find a clear path and entrance. And now we actually do have a fight that is breaking out on the control point.
A small fight, though. Like I said, Hellmatter a little bit late. Couldn't quite get a good angle. Not enough damage for off-meta Athena, or for Rule 34, rather. He has to run away. Is he going to get away? That's the question. Oh, he's sprinting. Damage on the Tesla coils. He makes it. That's pretty big. But Stylus gets taken down instead. That's another 10 seconds. Oh, we haven't really had a full fight yet, Matrym.
It has been a lot of stagger. It's really interesting. It's kind of got the chaos effect that's going on right now. You can see Hellmatter's doing a good job of staying alive, trying to find proper angles. That seems to be the big problem right now that Team 34 is facing. They just can't find a way to push in and break into this point. Now we have Genesis hanging really far back, just trying to fire rockets in through these overhead areas, trying to get some damage in. But we're at 62% now.
They need to push in. They have Visor available to them, as well as the Transcendence. So they have this. Lots of tools available for this defending team here in the red. Schmoop, the Mercy player, has Resurrect. Whether he gets to live or not will be a huge, big deal. In the back, though, CD taking out Swish the Sweet so early on. No Zenyatta, no Transcendence. Thras goes down as well. This is at 80%. Resurrect, though. Double Resurrect. That's huge. Triple, even. Gonna get everyone back. Swish the Sweet still has that Transcendence. Let's see what this Rocket Barrage gets. Not too much. But it's alright, the Visor quite strong. Still, red team. Off-meta Athena sticking around. Rocket Barrage gets 2, and that might be the point.
CD is still alive, does have Shooters with him, 2 supports inside there, and I think that's going to be the last little nail in the coffin for this round. It's going to flip over, yep, and where we go. Round 1 going in favor of off-meta Athena.
That was a very brisk round. First, sniping the point early on was huge. That gave them an extra 20% that they maybe shouldn't have had in the first place. Pushes the stagger. That match didn't even start until that last fight we saw.
Well, it's kind of weird. We were talking about at the very beginning of it about how off-meta Athena wasn't running anything to really handle a Pharah. Well, since they got so much control over the point, they didn't really ever have to worry about it because the Pharah had to come to them. And it really gave them a lot of control inside the map. And you can see that everybody that was on Team 34 just had a lot of trouble just trying to push into that point.
Pharah not very strong on the offensive side of Lijang Tower for sure. But here we go.
Got the doors open. Everybody's coming out. Looks like we've got Pharmacy on one side. Almost a more standardized dive style thrown in with a Roadhog. Everybody's moving very slowly on the side of Team 34, trying to come back through the white room to push into point. But again, already we're seeing a lot of control from off-meta Athena.
They can't let him take the point like that. They need to go in. They need to fight. Big hook takes out Tracer. Throst on Roadhog. Such a potent hero on this map. In these close quarter positions. D.Va, though. Oh no, are they going to take the point again? They can't be allowed to. They do! No matter what happens, no matter even if Rule 34 wins this, they're giving up so much percentage. Let's see. They need to take this fast. In the back, Rocket Barrage. Such a fast Rocket Barrage. That's insane how quick that was. Another hook from Throst. Won't get too much, though. Oh my gosh, CD. With the earliest Rocket Barrage I think I've seen ever on this map. Well, takes out 3.
Everybody just kind of came through that white room and was trying to push in, and they were all bundled up, and it was just so much splash damage from the rockets. CD's just being an absolute control inside of this map so far. Seeing lots and lots of air superiority that's going on, to the point where they had to switch on the other side completely off of Pharah. Just look at these rockets just going in, just completely uncontested.
40% again. Here come the blue team, Rule 34. Let's see if Throst can get another hook. Very close. Not going to hit, though. Ooh, Moose in the back. Tries to get something done. In 6 players, though. That's quite dangerous. Quite dangerous diving 6 players. Right now, 5v6. Hook on D.Va. Not going to do too much, though. You see Kuvaz right now in the camera. Had force back as well. No D.Va mech. Let's see if CD can get another huge rocket barrage. It's all up to him. A direct. He has the barrage, but he's hooked. Oh, there we go. The dream is dead for him.
Oh, but a huge pulse bomb from Moose. That is going to
huge.
sit the point
Triple.
back in their favor there. Yeah, that was absolutely destructive. 72% now. We're looking at maybe 2 more fights, depending on how fast Team 34 can get back out there. Momentum right now is definitely in the favor of off-meta Athena. They've had complete and utter control of these points since these doors open.
One more push, going through the same route again. So this is technically quite strong for Roadhog because of this narrow space. It's really easy to land a hook on anyone. Hook comes out on D.Va, that's huge. She goes down, no D.Va mech. Oh, but she has self-destruct. Resurrecting her D.Va mech pretty quickly on. Oh, and it gets an Ana too. Oh, that's such a misstep, running into that D.Va ult. So, you know, it was such a long time coming as well. Attack Visor, this needs to get a lot right now on Genos. And it does, it gets a couple. Rez gets 2 as well. No Soldier anymore. Such a huge res. Wow. You know, every time Rule 34 looks like they're starting to get some traction. Looks like they're starting to get something on the board here. Meta Athena, off-meta Athena rather. Let's not get him confused. Pulls out a great play and just shuts it down.
We move on to round 3. This is a best of 5 inside of our King of the Hill round, so it's all about right now if off-meta Athena can get this next win. They take all of Lijang Tower. Need to see Rule 34 kind of pull it together. It seems like they're kind of having some synergy issues or just afraid to pull the trigger at a certain point. Every movement that they're making right now is extremely predictable. You saw them repeatedly forced through the white room over and over and over again, not taking any forms of pathing, not using any of the real maneuverability of their heroes. So we got to see a little bit of more innovation come out on their side to see what they can really pull out here.
They need to find some way to punch through. Like I said, every time they start to do a little bit of something, they can't quite make it all the way. But here we go. Let's see if Genos swaps off or if this is Junkrat. Junkrat not bad on this map. And indeed,
Junkrat
it
does
is
have a lot
Junkrat.
of utilitarian purposes inside of this. Just the directed spam where you can go drop in some stuff. This is kind of what Rule 34 needs. They need to start bringing out something a little bit more random, a little bit more unexpected to try to throw off-meta Athena off their toes.
Once
again,
again,
to get some
giving up the point though.
9 seconds before it unlocks. Let's see if we can get some positions inside there. And Genos actually does get a kill on Akufas to start this off.
Kufaz dives in a little bit too hard. 5 versus 6, but we've seen this same scenario before. In the back, Winston dives in, cleaves through a lot of people, but already Genos goes down. Moose takes him out. There's no Junkrat right now for this blue team for Rule 34. Although, no Lucio as well for the defending team. I'm going to call them defending team. They started on the point. No D.Va mech anymore for off-meta Athena. Some of their players are going down, but look at the Pulse Bomb. These have been so on point all match.
CD is still just got complete air superiority right now, just doing so much damage to the point where Swoop can just stay down at the bottom and just heal in another early barrage, netting a couple of kills.
The Pulse Bombs, the Rocket Barrages are insane every single time. They haven't missed a beat on them. They're fast and they always get value. Never have they missed. I think that we haven't seen one whiff yet.
With that said, Team 34 actually did manage to contest quite a bit, get some control in. You can see that they're getting some life into him now. This change up with Junkrat, it's actually buying him a little bit more space, and you can tell the fact that it's kind of taking off meta Athena, try to figure out how to handle it.
Well,
Giving him a little bit of time, and here we go.
From the side. This is big. He needs to get a lot with this visor. This is so important. Let's see who he gets. Oh, there looks like he doesn't get too much. The D.Va's in his face. He can't even find the Mercy. That's huge. He goes down. The visor gets no value out of it, and the Mercy is still alive. Schmoop, we've seen what his Resurrects can do in the past. Moose is down. That's a big player right now for off-meta Athene. But the self-destruct zones out a little bit. Revives the mech. Stylus in trouble in the back. And just get booped away. They're not out of this yet. Off-meta Athena still has some tools to use, and indeed, they're going to go all in right now with the barrier. Did not quite get the Winston. That's big. Without getting the Winston, he can't be as aggressive as he would like to be, but it's alright. He has the Primal Rage anyway. Ooh, Tire. Let's see what we can get. I got booped around. How did that not get the Mercy? That was so close.
Now, Shmoop is still alive. CD is still just hanging out in the back as well. Finally, Whole Hog coming back, pushing back the Pharmacy off of the point, trying to get some form of control of this. Half the point's ticking over now, about 3/5 of it now tangled up. Moose is trying to find some directed pathing that's coming in. I still cannot believe that Swoop is still alive.
Still alive.
Is still alive.
Still has res.
So much damage.
He still has res. He's still alive.
Get some damage on this. Helmeter is up inside of this fight, doing something with it. Gotta get some soldier damage onto this Pharmacy. Do not let it just go around. Croft does get the nano boost, trying to get everybody off of this point to buy that last little percentage to flip it over. 90% now in favor of off-meta Athena.
This fight is going on for way too long. Rule 34, while sticking in it, is giving so much percentage up to off-meta Athena. They still have the Resurrect. Shmoop is still alive. That's like the second barrier to this fight from Lucio. Genos still bouncing around. Melee Junkrat stronger than you might think. Shmoop actually goes down. That's huge. There's no res anymore for off-meta Athena. That needs to go huge. Genos does get taken out by the self-destruct. Oh no, and Swisher Sweet as well. No Lucio anymore. No Anna. No heals at all. Mercy also coming back from the point from spawn. You can see her through the wall. Hellmeter has to go absolutely huge here. This is his chance to shine. 1v6. Not gonna happen. Oh well. That's the first map going to off-meta Athena.
Sometimes it's about the valor in the attempt, though. Definitely going for it in the end. I think that we're not necessarily seeing a lot of outplay. We're just seeing a lot of out-comp inside of this. Right now, CD and Moose are just doing so much damage, and Shmoop has just been alive and uncontested for too long. We need to see more from Team 34 come out and actually just really apply pressure onto this pharmacy, not let it just have complete and utter control of the stats.
The Pharah, the Mercy, and the Tracer for off-meta Athene performed spectacularly that entire time. They never missed value. We saw how long Shmoop stayed alive there. It was for so long, so long.
And the longer that a Mercy lives, the harder it is, because even if you get a couple of kills, and we saw a lot of really clutch reses from both teams actually come out. I think that it might do Team 34 a little bit to slow down, get some pacing. Don't always feel that you have to push the fight. Come back and let everybody get back up and then push back in together, because we saw a lot of staggered fights inside of those rounds.
Definitely managing the clock, managing the percentage is something that Team 34 needs to work on a lot more, because while they were only losing 1 or 2 fights per game, really, over the course of each of those segments, they only lost 2 fights on average. And that was because they would either give off-meta Athena a ton of percentage points early on without contesting them, or they would just have one fight and they would never know when to retreat. They would just keep trying to force it over and over and over and over again. And we saw there on the third segment, Team 34, Rule 34 rather, they were sticking in for a long time. That fight lasted a good, 3 minutes? They got 2 Lucio ults in one fight. But the entire time, it was still just a trickle. It wasn't really, they never had enough momentum. They should have just retreated.
Specifically, they needed to look for target selection whenever they got those kills and then push with those, or stagger off of like an influential kill, such as onto the Mercy. Taking a second, regrouping, breathing, and then coming back in as 6 would have given them a lot of benefit. Although I do like the fact that Team 34 did try a change up. They did bring the Junkrat in. It seemed like that felt very comfortable, and they were getting some success with it. At least they were enough to start delaying what off-meta Athena was trying to accomplish. But again, it goes back into target selection and comp selection. It's really hard for Junkrat to do much to a Pharah.
Junkrat
I guess you could throw the bomb out, or maybe you can go airborne, like bounce yourself up into the air and just spray the Pharah down while you're in the air. That's about the best hope you could have.
Once again, Junkrat, like in the first segment, they had a Pharah, remember? But they could never actually get into the point, which made their Pharah not very effective. Junkrat, again, very strong on defense in Control Center on that third segment we saw. But on offense, still not too bad. But certainly that's not what you pick the Junkrat for. You pick the Junkrat to get the early win, and then he holds so well. All those narrow little approachy corridors, it's hard to get through the Junkrat mines.
And just the amount of form of crowd control he actually does bring. You can throw down some of those sneaky traps, lock down somebody as they're coming in, specifically trying to catch some of these supports as they're pushing back through. Because we saw a Winston, Tracer, that style coming out from off-meta Athena, trying to capture some of these high priority, low health targets that are the supports would have been extremely beneficial. So I'm very curious to see what we might see coming out of Team 34 whenever we look at what looks to be King's Row coming into the next round. I'm not 100% certain, but that's what they're floating on at the direct time. Seeing a little bit more of a stabilized control form of map coming through with payload or a hybrid might be beneficial for Team 34 to really let them catch the breath and figure out how they want to path into this.
Certainly, yes. That is an issue of teams. They were certainly playing a little overly conservative in that they were giving up too much. They were letting fights go on too long. And so going to King's Row, I think, will certainly suit them a lot better because, well, on a King of the Hill map, the decisiveness that off-meta Athena had, the carry players we saw in CD, in Moose, just so strong. That's the impact you need to win in a King of the Hill map.
Oh, I'm just seeing inside the chat that apparently there were two subs in for Rule 34, which is actually very,
Mm,
very influential amount. If you have to
yes.
come in and you're having to try to come in and work with people that you haven't been working with and fighting somebody that's had a couple of weeks of synergy to build up, that's always something that's really hard to overcome, especially in the first couple of rounds of a map. Kind of get a feel for each other, which might be one of the reasons why we're seeing Team 34 get so much. Like we're seeing an evolution inside the team. They're definitely fighting stronger. They're definitely holding up a lot more. So Rule 34, I think, has the chance to actually really gather themselves back together the longer this goes, especially if that two subs thing is true. Because the
Mm.
longer this goes on, there's just going to be more and more synergy that comes out.
Two subs is really brutal. That's right. It just kind of. I mean, one is hard. Two, it's
Mm-hmm.
almost like you're playing an entirely different team than you're used to. So I hope they can.
Especially if
Yeah.
especially if one of those is like the shot caller. If the shot
Oh,
caller or
yeah.
somebody that's responsible for comps or just a healer, like if with two, that means that you're missing some large factor inside of your team. Like it could be like your main tank, it could be one of your flex players. It can really hinder some of the styles of comps that you're used to running. So much kudos to them. Like I said, they've definitely come out and they're definitely coming out swinging. They're trying to get in, and I think again as this goes on, we're going to see Team 34 evolve a little bit more each round.
We will have to see. It is unfortunate for them, although they do have. We can see they do have the icon synergy, all Pachimaris on Team 34, and all anniversary icons on off meta Athena. So we'll have to see which type of icon is superior here as we go into King's Row very shortly. We'll be in King's Row just a couple minutes now. But yeah, having two players that is completely different. Hopefully, what I mean, if one of them is your shot caller, then that's not even the same planet essentially anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that throws everything into whack. There's no that means at least two of the departments potentially won because you have essentially your tank core, your damage core, and your support core. If having two of those mixed inside of there means that two of those three aren't functioning the way that they normally did, or hopefully it's not two of the same. Like having to have a whole new core of support, DPS, or
Yes.
tanks is like an entire change of a team.
Well, we'll have to see what they do here. King's Row, a map that greatly rewards being able to, well, being able to have momentum going into the streets phase is probably one of the most important factors of King's Row. We've already seen that off-meta Athena is very good in that regard. They can certainly keep the pressure on. They have the carry players. Let's see if Rule 34 can, well, get back into the game. It is King's Row. So much different map than we just saw. Lijang Tower is the king of just go and kill him dive. And King's Row is, well, you do see a lot of divey stuff on the first point. Lots of other strats shine very brightly as well on that map.
Yeah, King of the Hill has a level of chaos that happens inside of it, and Payload tends to be a lot more organized, specifically once you get past the first point and moving into the third point. Streets phase can still be chaotic in some of the rounds, but with this, we are in now, guys. We are in King's Row, and let's see what both teams can bring us this time around.
So now off meta Athena is in the blue, Rule 34 in the red. Rule 34 will be attacking first this time. They have a big benchmark to hit. They're down one. This is a best of three. So if they lose King's Row, they are out. For this, they lose the set. They need to come up with a strong showing here in the time bank.
And that's where the pressure really starts to mount. Sure, King's Row was not King's Row, but Lijang was a little chaotic. But now that we're moving into King's Row, you can see that off meta Athena does have the leg up. So at this point, you got to really rally the emotions together, see what you can kind of bring through, tough it out, and see what you can bring into this next round. And that's why a lot of pressure is going to be coming in on Team 34. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see again. We saw a slow evolution coming out now. Now we're going to be playing in a less chaotic style. I really can't wait to see what they're bringing outside of this. And as far as the defense goes, looks like they're going to be bringing out the pharmacy.
Pharmacy defense, something you don't see very well. I mean, we've actually been seeing it often today for some reason, but something you normally don't see very often. It's somewhat irregular. Stronger on this map than most, for sure. I'd say if you see it, it's for sure on the first point of King's Row. Potentially the second point as well with Streets phase. But to couple it up, Zenyatta, Diva, Soldier, and Reinhardt. They can be a little bit vulnerable to divey dive sorts of compositions. because
not running the Lucio, yeah, it makes it really, because you don't have the speed boost to maneuver out away from the dive as it jumps in. So it's really going to come down to Ananke and making sure Ananke is calling out Discord target specifically, and everybody executing off of that. He's going to be a real X factor inside of this round. And with this, the gates are open. Thrust is going to be running Reinhardt, and Mort is actually going to be coming out with Winston as well. So running 2 of the major tanks that we see.
Pharah as well for this composition. So they're running a bit of a mobile composition. I wouldn't call this a dive. It's about 50-50. They're running the Pharah as their main DPS. Hunting down the soldier. That's big if she can find it. One rocket, can't find any directs though. Doesn't do any damage, I don't think. Mordecare jumps in. Not on anybody though. Lots of chaos. Oh no. Mercy getting hunted down a little bit. Swoop. So low. Can he get away? 30 health. 37, 50. Oh my gosh, that was so close. That would have been huge if they had taken out Swoop. No Mercy.
And with this, we're seeing stalwart defense coming in. Everybody's still staying alive at this point. Everybody's staying right behind Kufas. Good job on Kufas and Dragon X just to really rally together, support each other. You can see whenever Kufas drops the shield is whenever on the other side of Dragon X brings up the defense matrix, trying to buy some more. But Pharah is just right on top of us. Genos is just firing rocket into these tanks, slowly and steadily building up more and more ult charge.
Oh, she found Moose. 1, 2. Oh, no soldier anymore right now for the defenders. That's absolutely massive with no soldier. That's a ton of damage gone. Rocket Barrage, it needs to get a lot. It doesn't. Genos takes it out from behind. Swoop though, only a single res. Doesn't manage to get the soldier. Double, triple Earth Shatter. But it's blocked by the barrier just in the nick of time. No one dies as a result of it. Great job by Swishy Sweet. That barrier blocked everything. Stylus though goes down. No resurrect anymore for the attackers. Huge pickup. And surprisingly, that was by the hammer of Kufaz. Not every day you see a Reinhardt take out a Mercy. Self-destruct whiffs as well. But this fight is still going relatively strong with a double Earth Shatter.
At this point, CD is still alive, hanging out in the background, really kind of being sneaky, getting off this Pharah damage. Finally gets intercepted by Helmeter. It's going to take lots of damage. Everybody is now on the point. It's just on to Dragon X, who just got demeched. Kufas is right on the corner of the Swoop's trying to keep everybody alive as Mercy.
They need to kill him.
Swoop is the factor.
He has res. He has no health. Oh,
managed to make it to the soldier.
Oh my gosh, he's still alive. That's insane. This is a crazy fight. The attackers, they do have the respawn advantage. They're coming in. They're trying to do something. Rocket Barrage is on Genos. He needs to go huge with this. Let's see what he manages to do. Stylus has Resurrect as well. Resurrect on both sides. We need to find
everybody on
a
Rule
break
34
point.
is getting little bits and pieces of this control point. This has been an extremely long fight. We see Transcendence coming out, trying to heal all of the defenders, but look so close right now to getting that second tick mark on the control point, trying to flip over point A.
I think the defenders have finally done it. They get 2 kills, no more Genos, no more Winston as well. The attackers finally. The attack subsides. Still 1 minute remaining though. They have Resurrect, Rocket Barrage. They have everything. All they're missing is Graviton, but they have everything else, so it's okay. The defenders, though, they have quite a bit too. So this is really going to be a climactic final fight here, or maybe we'll go into Streets phase, but it's definitely the final fight of the first point.
And with this, we're going to have to see. I'm willing to bet a lot of this is going to come down to which Mercy manages to survive the longest. These are going to be directed targets, because at this point, it's been a while since we've had any reses. Both teams should be aware of the fact that
another flank around. One misses. Another one. Oh. Couldn't quite get him that time. Moose gets out alive. Mordecare goes down as well. Winston no longer in this fight. Helmeter. 4 players remain now for the attackers. I mean, if they die real fast, maybe they can get in. Okay, they're gonna go for the res. Triple. Moose has, oh gosh, combining the Rocket Barrage and the Visor. It's just too much. So many of the attackers go down. 5 seconds remaining until overtime. This is their last chance. All they have is a Winston.
Winston blows Primal Rage, trying to survive for as long as possible. We are in overtime now, so he knows that it's his role. Just stay alive for as long as humanly possible. Let all of the spawners come back in. But as they're coming in, they're just coming in a little bit separated out, so each person is just getting taken out one at a time. It's up to Stylus now getting picked off. Can Helmeter get in as Tracer? No. Blinks to the side, doesn't go in on the point, and with that, that's point defense. It's coming out.
Rule 34. Rule 34, we said they had to... Oh, they're just always so close, Matrym. They're so close. These fights are just so like 50-50, but they just never quite come out ahead. It's so tragic.
I felt so bad because they look like, if you look right now on the point, you can see right below the first chevron, there's the yellow marker for the attackers. It's all they have to get. That is how close they got to at least getting the second tick on the side of this. And then all of a sudden the defenders really rallied up, came together, and forced everybody off the point. And it's just like, it's heart-wrenching because you can see that they keep getting so close. It's just like one like little tick of damage is all they need to take down somebody, and they just can't quite seem to get it.
They need to do a relatively full hold here on King's Row. We'll see what they use for it. Right now, off meta Athena in the attacking blue side. They need to take 2/3 of this point.
34 is bringing out the Symmetra. Symmetra is very strong. If you need to stay alive for prolonged periods of time, Symmetra is really good at that, capable of either throwing down the shield generator or the teleporter. But with as much dive as we've been seeing lately, it's going to be really hard to make sure that those stay alive. It becomes a secondary protocol for the team to really have to focus on staying on the objective and also trying to keep up whatever the Symmetra tool that she chooses to drop is. Also, though, we'll see a lot of use potentially coming out based on the placement of her sentry turrets and where she's going to place them at.
We will have to see. This is all on Genos to get a lot of early ultimate charge. That's what they need right now. Because without it, Symmetra is at a severe disadvantage on this first point. It's just so wide open. She can't get in close to anybody for a beam. She needs to get this early ultimate. She needs to hit those right clicks. Let's see what the attackers are bringing with them. Ooh, Moose is on Widowmaker. Let's see if he chooses to swap off or stay on it. Widowmaker, not a terrible hero here on King's Row. Oh, trying to get the shots. Can't quite find the head, though. He stays on it.
Actually moving out the doors. Yeah, it looks like they feel confident with it. There's a lot of damage. Specifically, you can see Moose is focusing on trying to get damage in on the shield on a regular basis. Look at this positioning that we're seeing that's coming out on the side of off-meta Athena, coming all the way through the back flank, trying to force essentially the defenders to become the attackers. And with this, Kufas jumps straight in on the Mercy.
Oh, no Symmetra. That's not going to help her ultimate charge as well. We have Reinhardt, D.Va, Mercy against the world. Silas miraculously somehow still staying alive. No longer, though, as Thras is trying to stall out. It's all on this poor D.Va. Not even on the point at this point. Pilot as well. Well, it's all up to Hellmeter to 1v6 again. We've seen this scenario before, but we've also seen what the result is. That's going to be it. Off-meta Athena takes the match.
I do have to give a massive shout out to Rule 30 or Team 434. I keep wanting to say Rule 34.
It is
I know
34.
what your meme is based off of.
It is.
Is it Rule 34?
Yes.
I thought it was Team 34 there.
No,
so
it's Rule 34. Yep.
So with this coming out and having to bring in 2 subs is a ridiculously hard challenge to overcome. They came out and you could tell that they were playing with heart. They got so close so many times to actually capturing points, actually taking over this round. They got, like, we saw how close they got to getting that second chevron. That just absolutely eats my heart up. But here we go. Moose actually just absolutely tearing it up. Just good tracking. Alas, poor Mercy, we knew you well.
Alas,
just could not
alas. 63% kill participation by Ananke on Zinyana. 50% team damage taken on Shmoop. Wow. These are some serious stats across the board. So
Athena definitely coming out, showing up to play today. They weren't going to give him the little bit of space. They were like, "Oh, you've got 2 subs. That's okay. We're coming to destroy."
I've got to say, I think
so hard.
Without the subs, Rule 34 might have taken a lot more than that because those were so close, tragically close. But in the end, they wind up getting never getting the good end of the stick.
You could see inside of like the chat as it was going through, like some of them were just like, "Oh my god, it was just like right there," and you can feel it. It was just so absolutely close. But with this, we're getting ready to get everybody into the second round as we come in. Do we have the listing of which our next teams that we're going to be casting are at this point? Don't know.
Well, it'll still be a few more minutes until we get them in. We're going to take a short break, but we'll be back very soon with the next match here in Scrub Cup. It's going to be awesome. I mean, this one was a bit one-sided on paper, but if you watched it, you saw those were some epic team fights. Epic team fights. So I can't wait to see the next game as well. Scrub Cup is always so exciting, seeing all the cool stuff. It's not like seeing like that clean, refined, polished pro play is always good and nice and entertaining, but sometimes you just need to see the nitty-gritty, you know? Just gotta see it. So anyway, guys, we'll be back in just a bit. Don't go anywhere.